Ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for this. It's a load screen.
Could it be? Are we actually finally fucking doing this?
Yes, I recorded this playthrough months and months and months
When
ago.
BrainScratch first started.
Some of you who watched my Twitter back then probably remember me tweeting about it when I did when I
Holy
actually
resizing,
recorded this.
Batman. They couldn't resize the ESRB rating to fit with the comic mischief.
Oh, you know what? Okay, after Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, I am just glad they, adjusted the menu screens and stuff in this game to fit the new aspect ratio, because they didn't do that in Sands of Time, and it was the only reason the only thing about that HD port that you just couldn't like was that nothing except for the 3D graphics fit the aspect ratio. Yeah. Oh, get used to this kind of sort of wonky mouth movement, because we're journeying back in time to early GameCube PS2 era, where this was the height of cinematic wonders.
Welcome to
in video
Douchebag
games.
News. Your latest in douchebag reporting.
You can tell it's the future because they have stupid sunglasses.
Oh, we're talking about a time when Metal Gear Solid 2 was actually visually dazzling on every conceivable level, and Metal Gear Solid 2, graphics-wise, has not aged well at all. But yeah, Ubisoft released this for like every system available at the time, including PC, as is the Ubisoft tradition, them being the scions of multi-platform releases.
They get more money the more people are able to buy the game, and Beyond Good and Evil was a cult classic in every sense of the word, if I remember correctly. Like, this didn't sell great, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can understand why it didn't sell, and it's not the protagonist, it's the goddamn title. You look at this cover, and then you see a pretentious-sounding title like Beyond Good and Evil on the shelf, and I don't know, what impression are you supposed to have? The game did not look even, remotely promising until I actually played it. And I only played it because I heard people talking about how good it was. And really, people talk this game up way too much. It's not as good as people say, but it's worth at least one playthrough, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, this game does get a lot of critical acclaim for sure. It's definitely like one of those kind of I think just due to the I was going to say intrigue. Due to how much people seem to like it, it is one of those things that you should watch at least once.
Watch.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of movies to compare it to, and so I crossed my wires. Although I will say that the beginning of this game is a lot more action packed than I had expected it to be. Like, you start off with like a yoga session with Jade here, and then suddenly we're in the middle of Alien.
Yeah,
or
but you want to know what the first big crisis in this game is? Jade can't pay her power bill. And that's why the force field went down. She was 350 credits short. And that doesn't end at just this fight and rescuing the orphans that she takes care of from the Doms. Yeah, they're actually called the Doms. You might as well just call them evil aliens at that point, but yeah.
Okay, do we want to explain our standing here for Beyond Good and Evil? Like, who of us have played the game, at least heard of it? Because I know it's pretty obvious that Lewis, you're the one. Well, since you're the one recording it, you have the most experience out of all four of us.
Yeah, all two playthroughs.
Yeah.
I played it once and then I recorded it.
Okay, I gotcha.
I haven't gone back to it since, because Beyond Good and Evil, unfortunately, is kind of a one-and-done game.
Oh, okay, so this slowdown is intentional.
Oh,
It's
yeah, that
dramatic.
is slow motion.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I'm trying to play this game with the commentary. I went and bought the version that was available on Steam, which unfortunately I did not find out until after buying it that it is a straight-up port of the original 2003 PC version.
Oh, yes.
So no gamepad support. I have to use a mouse and keyboard.
Ooh.
And, that's great for camera control. Not very good for combat.
Yeah. This is a console game. It is straight up a console game. The PC version was a port of the console developed versions,
Yeah. So I went and bought it again on the Xbox.
Yeah. Unfortunately, oh, hi, Paige. we just went from dramatic, alien capturing our protagonist to a giant pig man jumping out the window and butt stomping it. Talk about a tonal shift.
I saw Paige's name in like the manual and stuff, and I was like, all right, I'm just getting from the names alone. It's like we're in a fantastical sci-fi adventure with like alien-like names, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna know how to pronounce this pig's name. And then they say his name out loud, and it's Paige. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Journalism.
There you go.
Well, so are we on the same page about this character?
Shut up, Ted. God, we're not even fucking 6 minutes in, man.
No, Paige is our sidekick, our loyal sidekick.
Oh,
And,
he was the guy that was in the Beyond Good and Evil 2 teaser that has since disappeared into the ether and will probably never be seen from again.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because this game ends in a blatant cliffhanger, so it kind of needs a sequel to be complete.
I have only heard of this game very sporadically in the early 2000s, and then around the mid-2000s, I think it was a G4, the Cinematheque Showcase, spent some time on this game. Not so much in the entire game, but more like Jade, the character.
Yeah.
And like her relation with Paige and what she does in the world of Beyond Good and Evil. That's about it, though. I've heard about the sequel that everyone is, stoked for, but then I also heard about how it's like Ted said, disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah. Was this straight up confirmed canceled?
No.
I think since it's not Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft doesn't care anymore. I think is basically the thing.
Basically, what happened was Michel Ancel is too busy to be working on this right now.
Right. So what we said, we see it needs a raving rabbit.
He was working on it, and then he had to do Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, and since then the project is sort of. I don't know if like his team is working on it in their spare time or if it's just been consigned to limbo.
Well, what is Michel Ancel? Is that how you pronounce his name? I know it's French. What has he been working on since there hasn't been any Rayman stuff since Legends came out, and that was a good 3 years ago now. Goddamn. But yeah, so has he been on anything lately, or what? Or did the Mario Maker level he made for the game really take 6 years to do?
Is it called Beyond Good and Evil?
Anyway, the news got here fast. I wish the army was as quick on the draw, And
to be perfectly honest, though, in a real life situation, I would not be surprised if the news choppers got there first before the police. So, yeah.
I like how at the first moment of criticism, the news guy just bails. Zoom.
Well, they just take off.
One thing I do want to mention is that the voice acting, I can only hear it sort of because we're commentating, but it's pretty good from what I can hear.
Yeah.
And especially this game came out 2003, 2004. Is it
2003?
2003, yeah. For especially for that time, this came out the same year Sonic Heroes, so let's let that sink in a little bit.
Well, Ubisoft has actually been pretty good about voice acting. Sands of Time had good voice acting, not necessarily the best sound design, but good voice acting. And I'm trying to think of other ones. Well, Warrior Within even had good voice acting, and I don't like Warrior Within.
So yeah, so I wanted to give props to that because voice acting in games still is kind of hit or miss. So this early having just legit good voice acting is a nice change of pace.
Hey, you don't see this guy often, so I want to bring this up now. But you know how in most games you have a sexy female holographic computer woman? Well, Jade has an attractive Hispanic man.
Cortan, no.
But yeah, you don't see this guy often, and that's unfortunate because on the few times he actually does appear on screen, he is hilarious. Anyway, this is where we get our first major side quest. You only have to do this at the very beginning for a couple of photographs, but throughout the game you can take pictures of all the wildlife in the game to catalog it, And it's not that hard to get them all, but you know, it's a fun little mini game, and it gets you extra money.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Fuck the catalog. I need more upgrades.
It gets you money. It gets you extra money and extra pearls. The first few completed albums also get you like semi-crucial upgrades.
What do pearls do?
Pearls are basically your MacGuffins for progression.
Oh, okay. They're
One thing
your
to mention,
power star jiggy sun
Yeah.
medals. Got it.
One thing to mention, though, is that as you progress through the game, you realize, as you get through the game just throws pearls at you en masse. The game was originally supposed to be a lot more wide open, because there's a sailing element in this game. Think Wind Waker. Well, the developers, while they were making this game, played Wind Waker, and they didn't like the sailing. So the game...
See, that's...
We'll make our own sailing.
So, yeah, they significantly downsized the game world. And I get the feeling that because of that, they put more pearls per mission to rebalance it, so that, you know, you don't have to do a whole lot to make your way through.
Hold on, backtrack for a moment. Are potato chips our health pickup?
Fucking nachos.
Yeah, those are our health pickups. One thing I want to say is take a picture of this guy now, because if you don't take a picture of this monster now, the force field turns on, and you'll have to find those monsters somewhere else in the game world.
Yeah, it scares them away. I think that's the justification.
Yeah, it flat out vaporizes them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, scare them away for the
Yeah.
child-friendly description.
Yeah, it's funny. We made like just about enough money to turn on the force field and scare these monsters away by taking a picture of one of them and selling it.
Genius. We're eating food tonight, kids.
Now, keep in mind, the species photography thing counts NPC characters. So take pictures of the orphans around the orphanage, because there are several different races here. You know, goat people. More
I did not
human-like
know
people.
about taking pictures of the kids. I thought like they're just looking for wildlife.
Take pictures of the kids. Take a picture of your pet dog, and take a picture of Paige.
I took a picture of the dog because I figured he may have counted. But yeah, this is what I did pretty much in the beginning of the playthrough. Just took pictures of everything because I need money.
So wait, can you take a selfie and then have that count for the human entry?
Oh man.
Though it is weird to see that even in an alien world, a game that takes place in a fictional alien world, the camera is remarkably dated by today's standards.
There's actually a fair bit of stuff to pick up around the place, but get the power turned back on before you explore here. Also, you also need to take pictures of the bugs, and these guys are freaking annoying to get in frame.
Yeah.
Come on.
As
Hey.
soon as you see the radical green in all accounts, just fucking mash that
Yeah.
button.
So
Yeah.
why do people want a Pokemon Snap 2 again? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, like I say, this is just a side quest, and this playthrough is going to be an almost complete playthrough. I say almost complete because I missed a health power-up, and I think it was in a place that you can't get back to once you leave it.
And that
Your camera gets full before you take a picture of
Yeah.
the final boss.
wait,
Yeah.
so wait, that getting all the health items counts for 100%?
Well, conventions for 100% were a bit different back in 2003, but I think there is one missable health upgrade in this game, and I'll point out where I think I missed it, but I could be completely wrong because I haven't bothered to look up a guide. Also, the dog has a full health heal item, so you want to get that from him before you leave too.
You got to chase him down first.
Yeah. I like this beginning. You know, we have our typical and media res, however you pronounce that, thing. Also, there's a health power-up in the bathroom. What an odd place for a heart container. There are no heart fragments in this game. You just find heart containers. The catch is you have a partner and their health bar. In order to extend your partner's health bar, you have to give them your own heart containers. So you can decide whether you or your partner has the longer health bar. Addendum. There's practically no reason to extend your partner's health bar in the first place, so the decision is moot. Just keep all the heart containers for yourself.
One-man army.
So what happens if your partner runs out of health then?
If your partner... I don't know. It's never happened to me. That's why I say there's no reason.
That's probably why you don't bother.
Yeah. Your partner AI is actually pretty good at not getting killed, so, yeah. You don't have to babysit your partner in this game.
Thank God.
In fact, your partner is basically a super attack with a health bar and an attack of its own. Basically, what happens is while you've got a partner, you hit the triangle button to make them do a super attack that slams the ground and does a sort of a knock the enemies into the air move.
I've been hearing this game draw comparisons to Zelda. Does that hold any water?
Well, that was
Yeah,
the first thing
actually.
that was the first thing I thought when I saw the combat. Well, actually, more specifically, I thought Star Fox Adventure because she had a staff.
Well, yeah, the game does for like the first couple hours feel like a Zelda game, but the overall structure and feel of the game as you get into the later levels is not quite so Zelda-like. And after the first area, which has more of an emphasis on fighting monsters than the later levels do, it starts to focus more on stealth and sneaking around. And, well, Metal Gear Solid, this ain't. I'm gonna say that I don't really like the stealth mechanics. Part of the reason this is a one-and-done game is that every stealth section is a puzzle with one solution. Exactly one solution. You have no freedom in how you approach the stealth in this game. You're supposed to do it in one way, and once you've figured it out, that's all there is to it. So it's only really going to be entertaining the first time.
You have a cube in your hand, and there's a square-shaped hole.
Yeah. Also, there's an animal running circles around the roof for some reason, and I think this is the only place you can find this one. I'm not exactly sure what the legitimate way of photographing this thing is, but if you get out here like this, you can get a photo of this guy early.
That's exactly what I did. And I know I had the exact same thought, too, because the angle was so awkward. But
Yeah.
the reticle caught him anyway. I figured, that's probably not the way I'm supposed to get a picture of this thing. But it counts, and that's all that matters.
Well, you can only do it this way if you have the zoom lens, which is what you get for completing the first album.
Oh, no, I didn't do that at all. I didn't have the zoom lens.
You didn't have the zoom lens? Seriously?
Reticle turned green anyway. It was pretty quick, mind you. I had to like press the button within like 5 fucking frames, but it counted, and that's all that mattered.
And so on this note, in which the players are viewing me and Jade cosplay, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. See you all for part 2.
Nice ass, baby.